Sundance Film Festival 2026 delivered an unexpected headline that quickly captured global attention. Andrea Swift, the mother of pop superstar Taylor Swift, and Donna Kelce, the mother of NFL star Travis Kelce, made a joint public appearance at the prestigious film festival, instantly becoming one of the most talked about moments of the event. Their presence shifted the spotlight from independent cinema to a powerful real-life narrative that bridges music, sports, and popular culture. The appearance took place on the festival's red carpet, an area typically dominated by filmmakers, actors, and producers. As cameras flashed, Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce walked side by side, greeting media and attendees with calm confidence. Andrea Swift appeared poised and elegant, reflecting the composed public image long associated with her role in Taylor Swift's career. Donna Kelce, known for her down-to-earth personality, brought a warm and approachable presence that immediately resonated with onlookers. Sundance Film Festival is widely recognized as a platform for bold storytelling and intimate, human-centered films. For that reason, the appearance of two high-profile mothers sparked immediate speculation. Industry observers and entertainment media questioned whether their attendance was connected to a specific film project, particularly given Taylor Swift's growing involvement in film and visual storytelling, as well as Travis Kelce's increasing cultural influence beyond professional football. Andrea Swift has long been regarded as a central figure behind Taylor Swift's rise to global fame, frequently seen supporting her daughter during tours, award shows, and major career milestones. She has become a familiar and respected presence to fans worldwide. Donna Kelce, meanwhile, rose to public prominence as the mother of both Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, becoming a widely admired figure during their historic achievements in the NFL. Her authenticity and humor have earned her a following far beyond the sports world. What made the Sundance appearance particularly notable was the visible rapport between the two women. Witnesses reported that Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce appeared relaxed and engaged in conversation throughout the event, sharing smiles and quiet moments away from the main cameras. Their interaction added a personal, human dimension to a festival often defined by industry conversations and cinematic critique. Media interest intensified when reports emerged that both women attended a private screening reserved for select guests. The information quickly circulated online, fueling curiosity and discussion. According to sources familiar with the festival, the film screened focused on themes of family, fame, and the unseen emotional labor behind public success, subjects closely aligned with the lived experiences of both Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce. The moment reached its peak following the screening, when the two briefly addressed the press. They confirmed that their attendance was in support of a documentary highlighting the role of parents and families behind globally recognized public figures. While neither explicitly referenced their children, the message was clear. Success on a world stage is rarely achieved alone. The statement was met with strong applause and immediate coverage across entertainment and culture outlets. Cultural commentators were quick to interpret the moment as a reflection of shifting narratives in celebrity coverage. Rather than focusing solely on fame and achievement, audiences are increasingly drawn to stories about support systems, resilience, and family dynamics. The joint appearance of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce at Sundance was widely described as symbolic of this change. Social media reaction was swift and enthusiastic. Fans of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce shared clips, photos, and commentary, praising the visibility given to parental figures who often remain behind the scenes. Many described the moment as grounding and emotionally resonant, emphasizing how it humanized two of the most influential figures in contemporary pop culture through the people who helped shape them. As Sundance Film Festival 2026 continues, this unexpected appearance has already secured its place as one of the event's most memorable moments. Beyond film premieres and industry deals, the sight of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce together offered a powerful reminder of the enduring influence of family. In doing so, it expanded the conversation surrounding fame, success, and the stories that deserve to be told alongside them. The impact of the moment continued to grow in the hours following the appearance. Major entertainment outlets quickly elevated the story to headline status, while sports media and music publications alike followed suit. Analysts noted how rare it was for figures connected to two different cultural powerhouses to converge in a setting like Sundance, a festival traditionally distant from stadiums and pop arenas. The crossover effect alone amplified the news, turning a single red carpet walk into a multi-industry conversation. Observers at the festival described a noticeable shift in atmosphere once word spread about Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce's attendance. Conversations in press lounges and networking spaces pivoted away from box office projections and distribution deals toward broader discussions about legacy, family influence, and the evolving definition of celebrity. Several filmmakers reportedly referenced the moment as an example of why personal storytelling continues to dominate modern audiences. Behind the scenes, sources indicated that the documentary supported by Swift and Kelce explores how parents navigate the psychological weight of watching their children rise to extreme levels of fame. The film reportedly avoids glamorization, instead focusing on quiet sacrifices, anxiety, and the resilience required to remain grounded while living in constant proximity to public scrutiny. This framing aligned closely with Sundance's long-standing reputation for emotionally driven, human-first narratives. Andrea Swift's presence carried particular weight given her well-documented journey alongside her daughter. Over the years, she has been candid about the challenges of protecting family stability amid relentless public attention. Her attendance at Sundance was widely interpreted as a deliberate choice, signaling support for stories that address fame from a deeply personal angle rather than a performative one. Industry insiders suggested that her involvement lends credibility and emotional gravity to the project being showcased. Donna Kelce's participation added a complementary dimension. While her rise to public recognition came later in life, it unfolded rapidly during the peak of her son's NFL careers. Her ability to connect with audiences through humor and authenticity has often been cited as a refreshing contrast to traditional celebrity culture. At Sundance, her presence reinforced the idea that relatability and emotional honesty now hold equal weight to prestige and status. The visual of both women seated together during the screening quickly became one of the festival's most shared images. The camera captured moments of quiet reflection, occasional nods, and subtle emotional reactions that spoke louder than any formal statement. These unscripted details fueled online discussions, with many viewers interpreting them as evidence of shared experiences that transcend industry boundaries. Experts in media culture pointed out that the timing of the appearance was especially significant. In an era where audiences increasingly question the cost of fame, stories that center on emotional labor and family support resonate more strongly than ever. The appearance of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce at Sundance was framed not as a publicity stunt, but as a cultural marker reflecting shifting audience values. As coverage expanded internationally, the story took on additional layers of meaning. In Europe and Asia, where Taylor Swift's influence is especially pronounced, the news was often framed as a rare glimpse into the private world behind a global icon. Sports networks abroad similarly highlighted Donna Kelce's role as a maternal figure whose influence extends beyond the American football landscape. Festival organizers later acknowledged that the attention generated by the appearance exceeded expectations. While Sundance has historically attracted high-profile guests, the convergence of music, sports, and family storytelling created a uniquely broad appeal. Insiders suggested that this moment could influence future programming decisions, encouraging more projects that explore the personal ecosystems surrounding public figures. By the following day, the story had evolved from a single appearance into a broader cultural discussion. Opinion columns analyzed the symbolism of two mothers standing at the intersection of fame and normalcy. Social media threads dissected body language, context, and implications, while fans expressed appreciation for seeing parental figures recognized not as accessories to fame, but as central forces within it. What remained consistent across coverage was the tone of respect. Unlike typical celebrity news cycles driven by speculation or controversy, this story unfolded with a sense of gravity and reflection. The narrative focused less on spectacle and more on substance, reinforcing why it resonated so strongly with diverse audiences. As Sundance Film Festival 2026 moves forward, the appearance of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce continues to echo beyond the confines of the event. It stands as a reminder that behind every global phenomenon lies a network of unseen support, and that sometimes the most compelling stories emerge not from the spotlight itself, but from those who have quietly stood just outside of it all along. The discussion did not stop at the festival grounds. In the days that followed, entertainment journalists began tracing the broader implications of the appearance, framing it as part of a larger cultural shift. Coverage increasingly emphasized how audiences are no longer satisfied with polished celebrity narratives alone, but are drawn instead to the emotional infrastructure behind fame. Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce became central figures in that conversation, not because of controversy, but because of authenticity. Several media analysts pointed out that Sundance Film Festival 2026 arrived at a moment when public fatigue toward manufactured celebrity moments is increasingly visible. Against that backdrop, the quiet, composed presence of two mothers carried unexpected weight. There were no dramatic announcements, no staged gestures, and no overt branding. Yet the story dominated headlines longer than many film premieres, suggesting that the emotional core of the moment resonated more deeply than any promotional campaign. Industry insiders revealed that following the screening, a number of distributors expressed heightened interest in documentaries exploring family dynamics behind public success. According to sources close to the festival, meetings were scheduled almost immediately after the appearance, indicating that the attention surrounding Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce had tangible effects on the business side of independent film. The moment was no longer symbolic alone. It had measurable industry impact. Cultural commentators also highlighted how the narrative challenged long-standing stereotypes about celebrity parents. Rather than portraying them as controlling figures or passive beneficiaries of fame, the coverage emphasized endurance, emotional intelligence, and restraint. This reframing was particularly notable in discussions about Andrea Swift, whose long-term presence in her daughter's career has often been observed but rarely analyzed in depth. Sundance provided a setting where that role could be understood with nuance. Donna Kelce's role in the story was equally significant. Her visibility has often been linked to moments of humor and relatability during NFL broadcasts, but Sundance placed her in a different context altogether. Here, she was not a viral personality or a crowd favorite at a championship game, but a reflective participant in a conversation about pressure, expectation, and parental responsibility. This shift in framing expanded public perception of her influence. As the news continued to circulate, the appearance began to be cited in broader discussions about cross-industry cultural convergence. Music, sports, and film are increasingly interconnected, not just through branding and sponsorships, but through shared audiences and overlapping narratives. The sight of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce together at Sundance was interpreted as a visual representation of that convergence, where different forms of influence intersect through shared human experience. International media coverage added further depth to the story. Outlets in Asia and Latin America framed the appearance as a rare moment of vulnerability in Western celebrity culture, noting how family-centered narratives often resonate strongly across global audiences. In these reports, the focus remained consistent: the emotional gravity of parents witnessing their children operate on the world's largest stages. Within fan communities, the response evolved from surprise to reflection. Online discussions shifted away from speculation and toward appreciation, with many fans sharing personal stories about family support and sacrifice. The appearance at Sundance became a reference point for conversations about gratitude and acknowledgement, reinforcing why the moment endured beyond the news cycle. By the end of the festival's first week, Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce's appearance was frequently cited in recaps as one of Sundance Film Festival 2026's defining moments. Not because it overshadowed the films themselves, but because it reinforced the festival's core identity as a space for human stories. Programmers and critics alike noted that the moment aligned perfectly with Sundance's ethos, even if it arrived from an unexpected direction. The legacy of the appearance continues to take shape. While neither Andrea Swift nor Donna Kelce signaled plans for further public collaboration, their brief alignment at Sundance has already influenced how media outlets frame stories about fame and family. The emphasis has shifted toward context, support systems, and emotional reality, suggesting a lasting change in narrative priorities. As conversations persist, one conclusion remains clear: Sundance Film Festival 2026 will be remembered not only for the films it premiered, but for a moment that reminded audiences why stories matter in the first place. In a world saturated with spectacle, the presence of two mothers, seated quietly in a darkened theater, became a powerful statement. It underscored that behind every global icon lies a human story shaped by care, resilience, and unwavering support. And sometimes, those stories are the ones that leave the deepest impact. The ripple effects of that quiet yet powerful moment continued to expand well beyond Sundance itself. In the weeks after the festival, references to Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce's appearance began surfacing in panel discussions, op-eds, and even academic commentary on modern celebrity culture. What initially appeared as a simple joint appearance gradually transformed into a case study on how influence is inherited, supported, and sustained across generations. Several sociologists and media scholars noted that the fascination surrounding the two women revealed a growing public desire to understand fame not as an individual achievement, but as a collective process. In this framing, parents are no longer peripheral figures. Instead, they are recognized as emotional anchors who absorb pressure, manage uncertainty, and provide stability when public attention becomes overwhelming. The Sundance moment offered a rare visual embodiment of this concept. Film critics also weighed in, emphasizing how the documentary supported by Swift and Kelce aligns with a broader trend in nonfiction storytelling. Recent years have seen a surge in documentaries that deconstruct success rather than celebrate it uncritically. By focusing on the unseen contributors to public life, these films challenge audiences to reconsider who truly carries the weight of global fame. Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce's endorsement effectively positioned the project as both credible and emotionally grounded. Behind closed doors, festival insiders suggested that conversations sparked by the appearance influenced networking dynamics throughout the event. Meetings between filmmakers, producers, and distributors increasingly referenced audience appetite for emotionally authentic stories. The moment became shorthand for a larger idea: that sincerity now carries market value. This shift, many argued, reflects changing viewer priorities in an era of content saturation. The business implications extended beyond film. Brand analysts observed that public response to the appearance reinforced the strength of family-centered narratives in shaping public trust. Unlike traditional celebrity endorsements, the authenticity associated with parental figures carries a different emotional resonance. While neither Andrea Swift nor Donna Kelce engaged in promotional activity, their presence alone generated levels of engagement that marketing campaigns often struggle to achieve. As media coverage evolved, attention turned to how both women have navigated privacy over the years. Andrea Swift has long balanced visibility with discretion, choosing moments carefully while maintaining a clear boundary between public support and private life. Donna Kelce similarly emerged into the spotlight without relinquishing her grounded identity. Their Sundance appearance was interpreted as a continuation of this approach: present, intentional, and restrained. The contrast between their public restraint and the intensity of audience reaction became a recurring theme in analysis. Commentators pointed out that the absence of spectacle made the moment more compelling. There were no viral soundbites, no dramatic gestures, and no overt emotional displays. Instead, the power lay in stillness, in the shared understanding conveyed through minimal expression. In an age driven by constant stimulation, that restraint stood out. Fan-driven media amplified these interpretations. Long-form posts, video essays, and discussion threads explored parallels between the two women's experiences, despite their children operating in different industries. The consensus that emerged emphasized universality: the challenges of raising children under extraordinary circumstances, the fear of public failure, and the quiet pride of witnessing resilience. Sundance provided a space where those parallels could be acknowledged without sensationalism. By mid-year, references to the appearance appeared in retrospectives examining the cultural highlights of 2026. Alongside major film releases and industry milestones, the image of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce seated together was cited as emblematic of a broader cultural recalibration. It symbolized a move away from idolization toward understanding, and from distance toward empathy. The festival's organizers later reflected on the moment in interviews, noting that it reinforced Sundance's identity as a platform for stories that resonate beyond cinema. While the event is built around film, its impact often lies in the conversations it generates. In that sense, the appearance of two mothers became a narrative in its own right, unfolding organically and leaving lasting impressions. As the story continues to circulate, its significance remains rooted in simplicity. There was no announcement of future projects, no strategic alignment, and no formal collaboration. Yet the cultural footprint of the moment endures precisely because it was unforced. It allowed audiences to project meaning, connection, and reflection onto a scene that felt genuine. Ultimately, the legacy of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce's appearance at Sundance Film Festival 2026 lies in how it reframed visibility. It reminded audiences that influence does not always announce itself loudly, and that some of the most impactful figures operate just outside the spotlight. In recognizing them, even briefly, the festival captured something rare. A collective pause, a moment of shared acknowledgement, and a renewed appreciation for the human foundations beneath global success. As discussions continue to unfold across industries and audiences, that moment remains intact, quiet, composed, and deeply resonant. In a cultural landscape defined by constant motion, it stood still long enough to be remembered, ensuring its place not just in festival history, but in the broader narrative of how fame, family, and meaning intersect in the modern era. As the narrative surrounding the appearance continued to mature, a clearer picture began to form about why the moment resonated so deeply across such a wide audience. Media observers increasingly described it as a turning point in how supporting figures within celebrity ecosystems are perceived. Rather than being treated as footnotes to fame, Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce were framed as embodiments of endurance. Individuals who have navigated years of pressure without ever being the primary focus of attention. Entertainment historians drew comparisons to earlier eras, noting how parental figures were often deliberately kept out of public view. In contrast, the modern media environment has made complete privacy nearly impossible. What set the Sundance appearance apart, however, was the sense of agency both women maintained. They were present by choice, not circumstance, and that distinction subtly reshaped the narrative around visibility and consent in celebrity culture. Reports from within the festival suggested that the documentary they supported received heightened interest following the screening. While details remained closely guarded, several insiders confirmed that discussions with international distributors accelerated significantly after the appearance. The presence of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce was seen as an implicit validation of the film's emotional authenticity, a factor that carries substantial weight in the independent film market. Meanwhile, commentators in the sports world offered their own interpretations. For many, Donna Kelce's participation symbolized the expanding cultural footprint of professional athletes and their families. As sports figures increasingly intersect with entertainment, fashion, and film, the boundaries that once separated these industries continue to dissolve. Her appearance at Sundance was cited as further evidence of that evolution. Music industry analysts echoed similar sentiments regarding Andrea Swift. Taylor Swift's career has often been discussed in terms of innovation, reinvention, and narrative control. Observers suggested that Andrea Swift's visible support for a documentary centered on family perspectives aligns with those values, reinforcing a broader ethos of storytelling that prioritizes emotional truth over spectacle. As weeks passed, the story began appearing in university lectures, media studies discussions, and think pieces exploring the sociology of fame. The Sundance moment was analyzed not for its glamour, but for its restraint. Scholars highlighted how the absence of overt messaging allowed audiences to engage more deeply, filling the silence with their own interpretations and experiences. Audience engagement metrics supported these analyses. Articles covering the appearance consistently outperformed average engagement rates, particularly long-form features that examined its emotional and cultural dimensions. This data reinforced what many commentators suspected. Audiences are increasingly drawn to content that offers reflection rather than escalation. The sustained interest also prompted renewed discussion about the emotional toll placed on families of public figures. Mental health advocates referenced the moment in conversations about resilience and support systems, emphasizing how fame often amplifies stress not only for individuals, but for those closest to them. In this context, the appearance was framed as a subtle act of solidarity. Despite the ongoing attention, both Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce remained largely absent from follow-up publicity. Their decision not to extend the moment through interviews or appearances was widely interpreted as intentional. By allowing the narrative to exist without further amplification, they preserved its integrity and avoided transforming it into a media cycle driven by repetition. This restraint only deepened public respect. Commentators noted that in an era defined by constant engagement, choosing silence can be a powerful statement. The absence of further commentary reinforced the authenticity of the original appearance, ensuring it would not be diluted by overexposure. By the time Sundance Film Festival 2026 concluded, the appearance had taken on a life of its own. It was referenced in closing night speeches, festival summaries, and end-of-year cultural forecasts. Not as an anomaly, but as an example of how meaning can emerge organically when context, timing, and intention align. Looking ahead, many industry insiders believe the ripple effects will continue. Filmmakers are expected to explore family-centered narratives with renewed confidence, while media outlets may increasingly spotlight the human frameworks surrounding public success. In that sense, the moment served as both reflection and catalyst. Ultimately, the story endures because it resisted easy categorization. It was not promotional, controversial, or sensational. It was observational, grounded, and quietly powerful. In recognizing Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce, audiences were invited to reconsider where influence truly begins, and how often it exists beyond the frame. As cultural conversations evolve, the image remains unchanged. Two mothers, seated together, sharing a moment of recognition in a darkened theater. No headlines were spoken aloud, yet the message carried far. It reminded a global audience that behind every era-defining figure stands a network of care, sacrifice, and resolve. And sometimes, acknowledging that truth is the most compelling story of all. The longer the story circulated, the more it became clear that its strength lay in longevity rather than immediacy. Unlike breaking news that spikes and fades within hours, the appearance of Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce at Sundance Film Festival 2026 demonstrated a rare staying power. Each new wave of coverage added another layer of interpretation, reinforcing the idea that the moment tapped into something fundamentally human rather than trend-driven. Editors at major publications noted that reader comments on articles about the appearance were unusually reflective. Instead of debates or polarized reactions, the discussion spaces filled with personal anecdotes about family support, parental sacrifice, and quiet pride. This response pattern stood out in a digital landscape often dominated by outrage or irony. The tone of engagement suggested that audiences did not merely consume the story, but connected with it on a personal level. From an industry perspective, the timing of the moment proved especially relevant. Sundance Film Festival 2026 arrived amid broader conversations about burnout, overexposure, and the psychological cost of public life. Against that backdrop, the visibility of two mothers who have long navigated those pressures without seeking the spotlight felt both grounding and instructive. Their presence offered a counter-narrative to the idea that success must always be loud or performative. Media strategists began referencing the appearance when discussing shifts in audience trust. Studies conducted after the festival indicated that stories centered on family and emotional authenticity generated higher retention and longer reading times. Analysts connected these findings directly to the response surrounding Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce, arguing that the moment exemplified a demand for sincerity over spectacle. The influence extended into documentary funding conversations as well. Several independent producers reportedly cited the Sundance moment when pitching projects that explore the personal dimensions of fame. Investors, according to industry sources, showed increased openness to narratives that prioritize emotional depth over celebrity access. In this way, the appearance indirectly shaped creative decision-making beyond the festival itself. Cultural critics also examined how gender played a role in the story's resonance. The visibility of maternal figures, particularly in industries historically dominated by male-centered success narratives, added another dimension of meaning. Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce were not framed as managers or strategists, but as emotional constants, roles that are often undervalued despite their significance. Sundance provided a rare space where that contribution could be acknowledged without simplification. International commentators expanded on this theme, noting how the story translated across cultural contexts. In regions where family structures play a central role in public life, the appearance was interpreted as a reaffirmation of collective values. The universality of parental support allowed the moment to resonate far beyond American pop culture, reinforcing its global impact. As months passed, the image of the two women continued to surface in retrospectives and cultural analyses of 2026. It appeared in year-end essays examining the moments that defined the cultural mood, often positioned alongside major artistic and social milestones. Despite its quiet nature, the Sundance appearance consistently earned its place among those highlights. Notably, the absence of follow-up commentary from Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce became part of the narrative itself. Their continued discretion reinforced the perception that the moment was never intended as a platform, but as participation in a shared experience. This restraint contrasted sharply with the acceleration of attention around it, creating a dynamic that further intrigued audiences. In retrospect, many observers concluded that the appearance succeeded precisely because it resisted escalation. There were no sequels, no press tours, and no attempts to capitalize on the attention. Instead, the story was allowed to settle into cultural memory organically. That choice